Every day, 1.7 million packages are stolen or go missing off doorsteps across the country. This is higher than it's ever been before, and it's costing Amazon and other sellers millions.
Expansion of online retail has resulted in expansion in the crime of package theft, which brings you to something around $9 billion a year in stolen packages.
Now, creative solutions are popping up everywhere. From doorbell cameras to automatic locks, porch lockers to alternative pickup points, big and small companies and everyday people are trying to stop the thieves.
This is a custom-built bait package that is recording him on 4 different cameras, and it's about to unleash a pound of the world's finest glitter, along with some other surprises.
We wanted to find out who's losing the most when a package goes missing, and what are Amazon and other companies doing to fight back. A 2019 survey conducted by InsuranceQuotes.com found that nearly 1 in 5 Americans report having a package stolen. And according to a new study by CNBC Research, each stolen item costs an average of $109 to replace, a cost typically passed down to the seller, who's responsible for the refund or replacement.
A lion's share of the loss is being absorbed by the entity doing the greatest amount of selling, which in this case is Amazon.
Amazon Prime members say they receive on average 51 packages at home every year, and all respondents spent an average of $222 a month on online orders. However, 42% of customers say they avoid buying expensive items online because of theft, meaning Amazon is missing out on even more sales revenue. In total, the thefts add up to more than $25 million in lost goods and services each day.
There are stories and anecdotes out there about more organized thieves actually following trucks and picking packages up off of porches, but the majority of package theft occurs from someone walking down the street, seeing an opportunity and grabbing it.
Wakefield Research conducted a study on package theft in 2018 that was sponsored by Comcast, which owns CNBC.
In urban areas, you see as much as 35% of adults saying that they've personally had a package stolen. In a suburban area, that figure is 20%, and in rural areas, it's 13%.
Safewise also conducted a study. It found the places with the highest rates of package theft are the Bay Area, Salt Lake City, and Portland.
Between like 10 and 3 is going to be the busiest time, and it's usually a time when people are at work or at school or out running errands. The nicer neighborhoods get packages stolen far more than what you would think are the rougher sides of town. And I think because they're going after the better booty.
So what happens when a package is stolen? According to CNBC Research, victims will alert more than one entity. 83% contact Amazon or the seller. 60% contact the delivery service, 48% checked with neighbors, and only 13% call the police. So who is it that's financially responsible for the loss?
Your major sellers, your Amazon, eBay, are replacing stolen goods. The shippers themselves largely aren't incurring this cost. Now some, like FedEx, will offer $100 worth of default liability. You can purchase more. The U.S. Postal Service offers zero liability, but you can of course purchase more insurance. But on the whole, that $9 billion is being absorbed by the sellers.
Even though it may seem like Amazon replaces your item immediately after a theft, if that item is sold by a third party, that's who pays for the replacement or refund.
You can also contact the carrier, the shipper, but they are going to try to get recourse again from the seller. But your best chance is to go to where you bought it from and see if they'll send you out another one.
It's up to the discretion of the seller whether they want to replace your item.
At the end of the day, it's the consumer who pays for this, because think about it, the rates have to go up. You can't afford to keep having this type of loss.
Although many police departments don't track package theft specifically, the numbers are definitely up. Denver, for example, saw a 68% increase in package theft from 2015 to 2018. Because small retailers and huge sellers like Amazon are spending more on refunds and replacements every year, they've got a big incentive to stop the crimes. One solution the e-commerce giant offers is an automatic front door lock system called Amazon Key, available in 50 cities for free with compatible smart lock kits. It lets users unlock the front door remotely, allowing a delivery person entry into the home. Amazon Key can also open certain garages and compatible cars, allowing packages to be left in a trunk, for example. And building managers can use Amazon Key for Business, giving delivery drivers a smart fob with time-limited access to drop off packages inside an apartment complex. However, CNBC Research shows that only 4% of package theft victims use Amazon Key. That number may be low for one reason.
Even though you can literally watch it in real time, the idea of unlocking your door for a stranger while you're not there so they can go in to your home, I think strikes some people as disquieting.
And then there's Amazon Lockers. Packages are left inside these automatic electronic lockers for pickup at convenience stores, grocery stores, apartment buildings, malls, and other locations in more than 900 U.S. cities. Locker Plus locations, often on college campuses, are staffed and can hold packages for up to 15 days. Amazon also offers pickup in-store at certain retailers, such as Rite Aid, GNC, Health Mart, and Stage stores.
We have 11% who said that they're sending their deliveries to an Amazon locker or similar type of service. And then we have 10% who said that they use some sort of package lockbox.
These individual lockboxes, like these from Kingsley Park, are often secured to a porch where carriers enter an access code to leave packages.
And then finally, we have 18% of respondents said that they wind up sending their deliveries to their work address.
Amazon says the vast majority of deliveries make it to customers without an issue, and that its customer service is available 24/7. Amazon Map tracking also allows customers to view the progress of their delivery in real time when a driver is close. And for packages delivered by Amazon, it offers a photo on delivery. Of course, not all online shopping happens on Amazon, so there's also a variety of smaller companies offering electronic smart lockers.
It's really tough to put a canoe into our lockers or a mattress. But other than that, we put tires all the time. We take some pretty big items through the lockers.
Parcel Pending has 4,000 locker locations at retail and grocery stores, companies, and apartment complexes in 48 states and Canada.
We've been working with one e-tailer who ships over 300 million packages, and they have talked about tens of millions of dollars of loss in packages. And so to put in a solution like an electronic locker system, for them it's almost a drop in the bucket because the loss in packages is not an insurable event for them. So it's coming out of their pocket.
When lockers aren't an option, consumers often turn to more homegrown solutions.
About a third of consumers will actually have a package delivered to a friend or have a friend or a neighbor or family member pick up the package. Some things are more extreme. We actually found 1 in 5 have taken a sick day or called in a PTO or vacation day to their employer so that they could be home specifically to receive a package that they were afraid might be stolen.
The carriers themselves now offer a solution too. Skip porch deliveries altogether by picking up your package at a storefront.
We've got between the UPS stores, and then we announced a partnership with CVS Michaels, Advance Auto to add the third one in there where receivers can say, okay, I want my packages delivered in those stores as opposed to their home.
UPS says it delivers around 20 million packages every day and that 63 million customers have signed up for its My Choice program. Customers can schedule deliveries, reroute packages, or set their default package delivery location to one of 40,000 secure access points around the world.
In the next year or so, 90 to 95% of the U.S. coverage will be within 5 miles of a UPS access point.
FedEx, which says it delivers 15 million packages a day, has a similar program called Delivery Manager. It lets customers enter specific instructions for where and how couriers should make a delivery, or lets you reroute a package for pickup at one of 14,000 retail locations, like FedEx office stores, Walgreens, Kroger's, and Albertsons.
By 2026, we expect the growth to be roughly 100 million packages a day. So we're going to have plans in place to make sure that there aren't packages laying out on people's front porches for hours or in some cases days if they're not home.
And USPS offers a service called Informed Delivery, which it says has more than 21 million subscribers. It offers a snapshot of every day's expected deliveries and allows subscribers to opt for a package to be held at a post office instead of being left at the front door. FedEx, UPS, USPS, and other carriers also offer package tracking. And although you can file a claim for missing packages if they were insured through the carrier, it's typically not the carrier's responsibility once it's arrived.
Once a package is delivered, it's out of our custodial control, and so it's really up to law enforcement to work directly with consumers on any reported theft.
There's a handful of outside companies like TrackerSense and Logistomatics that make one-time GPS trackers for packages. And then there's startups trying to streamline the entire tracking process. LA-based Route recently launched its app to offer one-stop shop tracking for consumers.
So you open up our app and you see everything that you've ordered from every merchant in a single map interface.
Route says its algorithms can detect if a package is wrongfully reported as stolen, helping reduce loss for its 1,800 merchant partners. And for a fee of 1% of the item's value, Route will also cover the cost if a package is stolen.
Once the carrier usually drops a package off on a porch, their job of delivering that is done, and a lot of times that's why they're taking pictures now to show the proof that the package is actually delivered. We're pretty alone on an island in cover porch pirating.
Doorbell cameras are now a common way that consumers try to protect their packages once they're no longer the carrier's responsibility. C&R research found that 25% of package theft victims install doorbell cameras, like the systems made by Boston-based SimpliSafe.
It's making sure that we have that reliable, high-quality video footage where you're going to capture the face of the person on it so that if somebody does steal a package, we can follow up on that.
But doorbell cameras don't only capture those with bad intentions.
Their American flag that they had outside their front door had fallen down, and the moment captured on video was a neighbor walking by, seeing that, writing the flag and saluting to the flag before moving on.
If a crime is underway, SimpliSafe now offers real-time monitoring of video footage when an alarm is triggered and can dispatch police to the home.
They will know that this is not a false alarm, it's not a waste of time, this is a really valuable use of their time to catch a crime in action.
And there's a lot of controversy. Some people feel like, it's giving a lot of access to Big Brother. But I think we all want Big Brother helping us when it's helping us recover from a crime.
SimpliSafe's video doorbell costs $169, and it offers a smart lock starting at $99. Competitor Ring starts at $99.99, and Google's Nest Hello video doorbell starts at $229.
The problem with that is, you get a picture of the bad guy and you see the bad guy walk away with the package, but what are you going to do with the bad guy? Who's going to go after him? And is anything really going to happen? And are you going to catch the guy who took your item? Typically not.
Hey, put that down.
Screenshots of package thieves from these doorbell cameras often end up posted online in forums like Nextdoor, in hopes the community will recognize and stop the thieves. More and more, neighbors are taking matters into their own hands, from baiting thieves with garbage-filled packages, boxes rigged to explode with blank shotgun shells, or the infamous glitter bomb packages planted by a former NASA engineer.
Surprise!
We would want to encourage people not to take the law into their own hands and to go through the proper process of alerting police and not try to, set anything up that could be potentially dangerous.
Carriers and law enforcement recommend filing a police report when a package theft occurs.
When you see the same body type and disguise happening repeatedly in a neighborhood and you're keeping that footage and you're sharing it with local law enforcement, there's a much better chance that you are going to catch someone.
Still, even with a police report, the chances of catching them are slim.
It's actually really quite difficult to find people who are doing this, really, unless you're caught in the act.
The Denver Police Department, one of the few that tracks package theft, says it arrested 7% of package thieves in 2018.
The U.S. Postal Inspection Service is your best bet. However, they were able to make arrests of less than 1% of the number of packages that are being stolen per year. And that's just arrests, it's not convictions, and it's not necessarily finding any of the lost loot.
USPS says postal inspectors arrested almost 2,500 suspects for theft of mail and packages in 2018. The average value of a stolen package is far below what would constitute a felony. In California, for example, the item needs to be worth more than $950. But in South Carolina, a proposed Defense Against Porch Pirates Act would make it a felony. And in Texas, lawmakers recently passed a bill that would fine package thieves between $4,000 and $10,000, with a possible jail sentence between 6 months and 10 years. And some police departments have experimented with baiting thieves with packages and staking out doorsteps. The reality is, as Amazon continues to bring more shoppers online, there are simply more opportunities for these easy, simple thefts.
I think it's our job to continue innovating because there will be continued innovation on the criminal side as well.
Amazon and other sellers are highly motivated to stop the huge losses incurred by package theft, which means the solutions are constantly improving, from doorbell cameras, tracking, and secure locations for package delivery.
There will come a time when we look back at the way we handled e-commerce deliveries, and I think it'll probably seem fairly primitive, that you just have these cardboard boxes sitting on porches. Whether it's things like the Amazon Key or lock boxes, technological innovation is so robust right now, and especially if you combine that with an opportunity for individual entrepreneurs to make money from solving this problem, I really think that it will be figured out to some extent.
I actually think it's probably gotten a little tougher for criminals to steal something because there's more attention paid to this, consumer awareness on it is growing, which our data reflects. But you're starting from a pretty easy position. This is not a difficult crime to commit.